Alright, welcome back to my channel. It's Cozy Christopher. Today we're going to be looking at the Steelseries Ghost Series keyboard and mouse. Now, this keyboard and mouse is a refresh of the Apex 7 and then the Aerox 3, and they've now created, made it wireless. And so we're going to look at this today, unbox it, and get initial thoughts. And then I've been using it for about 5 days, and I'll let you know my thoughts so far in using it, and then from there we're also going to be testing out this mic here, which is the Fifine K658 USB microphone. I'll go more into detail on that in the future, but I'm just going to be using this for my voiceovers today so we can get an idea of what it sounds like, and then I will do a final review on this in about a week after making 3 or 4 videos with it. So yeah, let's jump right into the unboxing, and we're going to switch from the on-camera microphone, which is the Rode Video Mic Pro, and then we're going to switch to the Fifine K658. Okay, for starters, we're going to get rid of my Logitech G915 TKL, which is extremely dirty right now. But let's jump right into this unboxing. And so we have the keyboard, we have the mouse, we have the Apex 7 TKL, and the Aerox 3 wireless. Okay, so if you are not familiar with this mouse, one of the most interesting things that I saw immediately is that this mouse is extremely light. And as you can see, I have 2 of my other mouses here, the Logitech G502 Hero wireless and the Cane 200 wireless by Rocat. But this mouse is, compared to these two, is like a feather in your hand, and it moves really well. It's really light. Interesting enough, even though there's holes in it and it has the honeycomb pattern, it has this AquaBarrier for like water resistance and protection from like dust and stuff getting inside of the mouse. Unique feature is that it has that dual connection, so you can have 2.4 wireless or you can have the Bluetooth 5.0, and it lasts up to about 200 hours and is USB-C for charging. And they claim that with only 15 minutes of charging, you can get up to 40 plus hours of gameplay. So that's a crazy claim. Have yet to see if that's accurate or not. Now let's move over into the Steelseries Apex 7 TKL. And again, there's a pro version of this, but they decided to do an update on the regular. So next, let's cover the look between these two boards since I have them sitting here. The G915 TKL is an amazing board, and it looks extremely refined. It looks high class. It looks great, but man, this thing here just this thing here looks gorgeous. And I mean, double shot PBT prism caps with the putty top allows the light to shine through per key RGB, allows the light to shine through like I've never seen, if you will. And so just this whole package put together in one looks really good. It's funny, my Cane mouse looks a little better than the actual Aerox 3 mouse sitting next to it, but as far as like the build, if you will. But together these two look amazing, and there's so much color on the desk. It makes it hard to want to pull, take this thing off. The light coming out of both of them is extremely bright, and it just stands out in the room. It gives it a real pop to the desk. Okay, and let's talk about the software for a second. So the Steelseries GG software, going to the engine. This was my first time using this software, and because I don't have any other Steelseries products for the PC, and so this was my first time using this software. And the software, as you work through it, is actually really good. As a first-time user, it was a little confusing, and so I'm just going to give this just as my honest opinion. And some of you may have used this software a lot. You let me know what your thoughts are on the software. But for someone like myself who had never seen it before, there's a lot of options, and it can almost be overwhelming because you have to kind of be familiar with the software in order to do the things that you're looking to do or complete, which is not a knock, because as you get used to using this software, you'll get much better. There's a lot of overhead for what you can do in customizing, this particular Aerox 3 wireless mouse, the colors, the button layout, the customization of the button, the DPI settings. There's a lot there, and so there's no knock, from me for that at all. For this particular mouse, I'm not too familiar with it, and so the software was new for me, a little overwhelming, but I'll say that as my personal experience. But in looking through it, it's an amazing software, as it does have the ability for a lot of customization. Now, moving over to the Apex TKL, and again, the difference between the Apex TKL 7 and the Apex TKL Pro is that the Pro has much better switches. It has a higher quality switch on that keyboard, whereas the Apex 7 only gives you the options of using the reds, the browns, but etc. But on the Ghost series, you can only get the reds, and so take that as you will. You're limited to just the red series keys on this, switches on this, which is weird, for them to do that. I don't know. So but again, customization of the OLED screen. First time user, again, it's not very intuitive. Like, you can fumble your way through it and you can find your way to it, and I would consider myself pretty technically savvy, and over a couple tries on this and I'll get it. As you can see me fumbling around like, what do I do? But I'll get it. And some of you where this keyboard is probably old news, you're probably like, well, duh, Cozy. But for me, again, like, it's my first time using the keyboard, first time using the mouse, and so that's my first impression. It's not intuitive. And so after 5 days, what are my thoughts so far, right? The board looks amazing. The mouse looks amazing. There's this weird thing with the Aerox 3, whereas it shuts itself off really fast, and so every time you use it for the first time, there's a slight hesitation as it turns itself back on. And it's not that the mouse is slow itself, it's just that when it goes into that sleep or standby mode, you have to wake it back up. The keyboard for me it looks amazing and it's gorgeous, and I really like the way it looks and sits on my desk, but I'm not sure if I'm a fan of it. And it's not because of this keyboard, it's because of the keyboard that my favorite keyboard, which is my G915 TKL. Like, that's a low profile keyboard with only a overall, I believe, 2mm travel distance. And so this one is 2mm actuation with 4mm travel distance. And that's a big difference for me. And so as I've used this keyboard over the last 5 days, I'm not sure if I like it sitting up on its feet with the palm rest, or flat with the palm rest, or on its feet without the palm rest. I'm just not sure yet, and for the first time in a long time, I've started to have like the pain in my forearms, almost like a carpal tunnel type feeling from using this keyboard. And with the G915 TKL, I don't feel that at all. If I use it, and I want to give it a fair shot, and so I'm going to continue using it for another week or two before I decide if I'm going to keep it or not, because it is a really great board individually to itself. But when I compare it to my G915 TKL, it's just, that one just feels much better. This one by far looks better. I'm kind of upset, like, because it's like the Ghost version, but it's a silver board with white keycaps, and so I wish that the board itself was white and that it was completely white with a white cable to match my peripherals in the room. Even the palm rest is like a kind of gray, grayish look, and even the Aerox 3 is kind of like an off-white. It's not like a pure white. Again, this is my thoughts as a consumer. I paid for this; it wasn't sent to me. And so, take these thoughts as you will. Let me know in the comment section if there's any questions you might have. As always, please like, share, and subscribe. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers, and would really love for my channel to continue to grow. And as always, please stay cozy in that crazy world. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.